Alright guys, today we are going to be making real embossings with our really nice aluminum foil, thicker than regular stuff you'd use to put over leftover food. So what we're going to be doing is taking our 4x4 inch paper and doing a radial design on it. The best way to do a radial design is to fold it diagonally twice, one way, one the other. By doing that, you have your square broken up into 4 sections to repeat your one design. Now, I find with this design is that you need to keep it very simple. Don't have lines too close together, because if they're too close, the bumps will look like one big bump instead of 2 small ones. So just keep it really simple. This is supposed to be fun and something really neat looking. So looking at my 4 triangles, again, you're going to do the same thing in each triangle. So maybe I will do a circle in each triangle. If you want, you can make a big line down your 2 fold lines to show that you've separated your 4 sections. Maybe over here I'll just do a curve line, so it looks like 4 sad faces. It's up to you. Then maybe I'll just do a little line over here. Notice how I am repeating the same thing. If I do it in one spot, I immediately do it in the other spot. Now, this ain't perfect, but that is okay. Nothing is perfect. So now, maybe I'll do a huge zigzag line so that I have a lot of space in between my bumps. I'll move it around. And then, let's see, what else? Maybe I'll do, maybe just a little X right in the middle. And then done. That is my design. Super duper simple. That's it. Alright, your next step is to glue it, tape it to your foil. Now I've picked a red foil. You can pick any color you want. Notice how it is red on one side, silver on the other. Now, I want my embossing to come through, so popping up on my red side. So I'm going to flip it over and put my design on my silver side, so that when I make my marks in my picture, it's going to push through and the bumps will be on my red side. So I'm going to line it up as best as I can. That looks good. Now, super important, I'm going to get this foam pad that I'll have available, and you're going to put that underneath your foil, because when you're pressing down, you don't want to be pressing on a hard surface. You won't make a bevel, which means pushing in and making a bump. So now I'm going to take my stylus. I have 2 options. You can do this really skinny one with fine tip, or this wider one that has a point but not as pointy, and then at the other end of it, it's flat, which will help you with flat surfaces, which is really great to use. So I'm going to start in. I'm going to hold it down. Now don't press too hard. This is just to show you where your imprint is, where your picture is. So I'm just pressing on my pencil lines. I'm holding my paper with one hand really well, even though it is taped, and pressing down with my other hand. Just tracing all your pencil lines. And if I forgot if I covered it or not, if you just put your finger over it, I can feel the indent, be like, oh, I already traced that. So I don't have to do that. I'm going to do this circle. If you go off of your pencil line, that's okay. Don't worry. Make it a beautiful oops. All right, I'm going to flip it over and see. Oh, look at that. My design is on there. So now what I can do is take my paper off, and now I can press harder to make it more pronounced, meaning more noticeable. Like that looks a lot better than these over here. So I'm going to make them more pronounced. Now be careful though, because if you go straight in, you might poke through your foil. I mean, that's okay, but you don't want it to. Whoops, like I just did. So be super careful. Don't add too much pressure. Because of the foam underneath it, it's giving a lot of leeway for your stylus to go through, where if it was on a hard surface, the hard surface would protect it from going through. So just be very mindful of that. You can also change it up. Maybe you want a wider, thicker line. So go for your other stylus. And now I'm going over, and this is definitely a more pronounced or noticeable line like that. Now, when you're all done really pressing these through again, one way to really make your lines more pronounced is by flipping it over, taking the foam mat away, using the flat tip of the big stylus, and then just going over the sides. So you're pressing down flat on the sides of your bumps that you made, the impression that you made. By doing that, you're highlighting the bumps, and now it's more noticeable. I think it looks better and more finished that way. And just go around each of them. And then you're going to be flattening it out as you go too, all around your beveled marks. So now it's a lot more noticeable, and definitely you can feel the difference. It's nice and flat with a big defined bump, a big embossed bump, where before it was all kind of bubbled up because it was underneath that foam, which gave it kind of leeway for moving. But now that I'm on a hard surface, it's not moving around. So then finish off your whole thing like that, and then your embossing will be finished. Great job, guys. I can't wait to see your finished embossed projects.